Okay, so this is chapter 8. Okay, it's Macy's point of view. I could see Meg nod sitting down on the couch next to Annika. Well, we have made a group. It's JC, Lindsay, Kristen, Mary, Haley, Caitlin, and I. We were stationed at CBS, but because they have medicine, and JC since her mother was a nurse, that she herself knew a bit about medicine. The group thought it was better for everyone if we just station ourselves there until we knew of other groups that could join. Or that we could join. That's two different things. We had stayed there for a while, eating some food, of the food and stuff. Then they came, the adults. They broke through the defenses we had at the doors, empty shelves, carts, and things, and got to where we slept back behind the pharmacy's counter. I was at the back in the corner, and I was the only one that got away. Annika also told us how she narrowly escaped with some shrub clippers, but lost them when the zombies started to chase her. Oh no, that's not good. Then she started to cry. Set my bow down on the coffee table and hugged the child. I'm crying. Okay, that's my best impression of somebody crying. It's gonna be okay, Annie. Cause it's a hard knock life for us. It's a hard knock life for us. It's a hard knock life for us. Okay. As she said suddenly, as I said, suddenly cried out and held the bite on her leg. I had forgotten all about it while she was telling us her story. Annika was bitten. She looked up to me hopefully. We can heal it, right? Put some bandages on it, some anti-infection stuff, and I can stay with you guys, right? Right? Okay. Where was I? It's gonna look stupid. Where was I? Okay. I looked over and laughed nervously. Well, Macy, can I talk to you for a sec? Meg said from the doorway, shifting from foot to foot. She must be wondering how we're going to tell Annika. Nodding quickly, stepped over to one of the offices that branched off from the main hallway. Meg followed me and shut the wooden door with a loud thunk. How are we going to tell her? Meg suddenly exclaimed, already pacing and biting her. I'm not. I shook my head. There aren't many options, are there? Meg took a Swiss roll out of her backpack and quickly mumbled, Panic food? You want some? Sure, I shrugged. She broke off the second chocolatey Swiss roll and handed it to me, where I promptly wolfed it up. A snack should be eaten. It was a luxury since the only thing I had eaten since we walked through these doors was a friggin' can of pinto beans. Pinto beans suck. They don't taste good. Without any salt, they had been horrible. I was miserably thin. We all were. It's only been 2 or 3 days? I mean, it shouldn't be that bad. We all were. I guess I just had that to my list of worries. Well, I suppose we'll just tell her that she's not gonna make it, but to try and hold out for as long as she can. Girl. Girl power. Woo-hoo. Meg said, snapping me out of my daydream. Out your daydream. We walked back over to the rest of the group where they were munching on some snacks. I sat down by Annika and said, Annika, we've been told by some other kids that once you're bitten by a zombie, you turn into one. It's not a big deal. What? Why did they just start calling them zombies? Usually you should call them something, just like vanishers or something like that. I mean, it's stupid to call them zombies. Her eyes widened. and she slowly turned her head in the other direction. The blood had drained from her face, and she was a sicky pale color. But you're not sure, right? Maybe those kids are wrong. Who are they anyway? Joseph and some other guys that hold up at Walmart. Why do they put that there? Why do they like this thing right here? See that? That thing? The little asterisk? Why do they put that there? It's a star in the middle. Stop trying to be cool. There was an adult there too. Zach got bitten and he turned. I informed her gloomily. She gripped my hand tighter and said, "Well, Joseph doesn't know what she's. I mean, yeah, she doesn't know what because Joseph's a she. What he's talking about. I'm gonna be fine. Stupid." Meg sat down beside me, shaking her head. "I'm afraid not, Annie. Even though it's hard not live, it's gonna happen. We've seen it with our own two eyes." Tears began to flow from Annika's eyes. She sniffed once, and everything became silent. Now, this next part might be confusing for some people, because you may be like, "Oh, she has disease in her. Wouldn't it be transferred into him?" No, it wouldn't. The disease hasn't taken over her entire body, just her leg. Then cut it off! Like, jeez. If you said it right there, it hasn't taken over her entire body, just her leg. Cut it off. You got an axe. Okay. Annika leaned forward, laced her arms around John's neck, pulling him forward. Then she kissed him. John was shocked. You could tell it from his eyes, which were extremely wide, and his cheeks were bright red. I said wed. Bright red. Annika released him, blushing and giggling. "I wanted to do that for a long time." She smiled. Meg walked over to the garbage can and picked it up. "Excuse me while I go barf." Oh, God. Oh. Smash. Nasty scrap. "Excuse me while I go barf," she muttered, walking hurriedly into the main office. "I'm with her," Caroline said, rushing after her. I got up and backed away slowly, saying, "I'll just, leave you two alone for a while." I motioned for John, Adam, Carson, and Hayden to follow suit, and we also walked over to the main office where telephone calls and such are made. "Ugh, it smells like fish and some sewage bad babies in here," Carson cried, holding his nose sideways. "Ew, I'm Squidward, ew." "I told you I was gonna barf." Meg reached again into the garbage can. That's it? That's it? That's it? What do you know? What do you know? It's like hardly 2 pages. I mean, it's hardly 3 pages, because it actually is 2 pages. But